morning and welcome to Career Callings. We are here with a veterinarian. Would you like to tell us your name?
Sure. My name is Nikki Palermo, and I work in Gulfport, Mississippi, and this is Andy Mack, our family dog. Hello.
All right, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to ask you some questions about your career.
Sure.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your job title and a description of some of your responsibilities in a day-to-day
Sure.
career?
My job title is Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, which is what most veterinary colleges, that's the degree that you get when you graduate. Some have a little different degree, but it's basically the same. And just my day-to-day.
Yeah, some of the responsibilities you can expect to have in your field.
Yeah, that's a great question. We have so many different types of jobs in veterinary medicine, so of course days are going to be different depending on what field you're in. I'm in small animal medicine, so I'm basically a clinician that goes into work every day into a hospital. And my basic day is going into the hospital, seeing what surgeries I have that day, getting prepared for those surgeries, going into appointments during the morning, sick pets, well pets, doing surgeries in the afternoon, and then resuming appointments later on after the surgery time.
Okay. Do you want to tell us maybe about a typical day that you can expect? So you mentioned that you could perform surgeries on small animals.
Yes.
Is that an everyday thing?
It is almost an everyday thing, yes. We have a lot of what we call elective surgeries, which are surgeries that aren't a necessary surgery, like spays and neuters. And then we have surgeries that are necessary, like mass removals or sick pets that need an emergency surgery that come in. But yes, we do surgeries every day. And there is no typical day, because throughout the entire day that I just told you about, at any time we can have emergencies come in and we have to stop everything we're doing and take care of those pets.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about some of the degrees or certifications that you would want to achieve to be in your field?
Sure. If you want to be a veterinarian, depending on which vet school you choose to apply to, you may or may not have to have a 4-year degree. Some people do, some don't. Some vet schools only require a certain amount of hours for you to apply to get in, and you don't have to have an undergraduate degree, a bachelor's degree. Once you go to vet school, almost all of them are 4 years, and then you'll graduate with that degree, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine or Veterinary Medical Doctor, depending on which school you go to. And after that, you don't need any special certification other than passing a national exam. And everyone has to take an exam called the NAVLE, which is a national exam in order to get your license. Then if you want to practice in a certain state, each state has different requirements. So that state, you'll apply to be a veterinarian there, pass a test, and of course, pay a fee. And then you have education that you have to continue every year in that state, depending on how many hours they require. In Mississippi, it's 15, so you have to every year get 15 hours of education and turn it into the state board.
So it's a lot of work.
Yes.
So what are some classes or after-school activities that a high school student can begin now to maybe attain this career field?
It's as simple as having your own pets. A lot of people that have pets, that helps a lot, taking care of a cat or a dog if that's what you're interested in, a horse if you're interested in equine medicine. That's the best experience that you can get, that along with volunteering at a shelter or getting a job as a technician or just helping out at a local veterinary clinic or with a veterinarian that that's in the field that you're interested in going in. As far as classes in high school, I don't think there are any particular classes other than the sciences, which I'm sure y'all know already. Yeah. There aren't any particular classes. Chemistry, physics, a lot of math, a lot of your typical science undergraduate classes, anything like that you can help you prepare in high school for those classes in college before you apply to vet school.
Okay. And do you love what you do?
I do. Yes.
So what are some of the reasons that you love this career path and that you continue to pursue it?
I like the variety of it. Even though we go to a clinic or an office or a hospital every day, no day is ever the same. We have routine things that we do, like people in every job, they have routine things that they do day in and day out, but we also have a lot of variation too, and that keeps things interesting. No two cases are the same, so it's a constant challenge to try to think about what could be wrong, and it keeps your mind really active, and it can really be fun too.
So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of working in your field?
Some of the advantages are flexibility, depending on what type of situation you want to work in. They have government jobs, private industry. You can, you can open your own practice, working on different types of animals. There's a lot of flexibility. You can work full-time, part-time, as little or as much as you want. That's another advantage as far as salary-wise. You can decide how little or how much you want to work. Another advantage would be being able to see and interact with the pets every day. It's so much fun. Even when they're sick, it's still rewarding to interact with them, and also to interact and be around the owners of the pets and see how much they love their pets, and just to watch their interactions with them as well. Disadvantages would be, depending on what field you're in, you can have very long after hours, especially if you're in large animal medicine. You may get called out a lot more often than you do in small animal medicine. Most small animal medicine practices have a local emergency room that people can go to after hours, so they don't have to work as much as large animal. But if you're in large animal medicine, you will work a lot after hours. Another disadvantage is the cost, and I'm sure anybody in high school that's interested in becoming a vet has already researched how much tuition costs, especially when taken in light of what salary you earn compared to other science professionals like medical doctors, pharmacists, optometrists. There can be a big difference in there. It costs a lot to go to vet school. So that can be one of the disadvantages. You really have to love it if that's what you want to do, and have a plan to manage either student loans or to limit your student loans as much as you can. Another disadvantage is you get dirty. So if you want a career that you're sitting behind a desk and you stay clean and all day long, this is not the career for you.
So it's taxing, but I imagine it must be very rewarding to be surrounded by other animal lovers and animals as
It
well
is.
in an environment like that. So what other types of career professionals would you work alongside with in like the span of your career?
Do I work alongside with? Or yes.
Yeah, and what kind?
Most of the time we work along with the paraprofessionals that are in our field. Veterinary receptionists, and they're very important. That's the first person that you see when you come in our clinic. Kennel technicians and groomers who help take care of the pets that are boarding with us. And then we have the most interaction with what are called veterinary technicians. And that's another field that we didn't talk about, but that's a good field also to pursue as a licensed veterinary technician. We work with technicians that are like veterinary nurses that help us with everything. We interact with them more than anyone, and then of course other veterinarians if we work in a multi-doctor practice.
So it's a lot of work that goes into this.
Sure.
So would you be able to provide like a salary range? I know that salaries can be they're very dependent on different situations.
Sure.
But is there like an average that you can expect?
There is. I think this year overall for small animal medicine, which is what I do, dogs, predominantly dogs and cats, and some small pets like guinea pigs and hamsters, I think the national salary last year was roughly $115,000 a year. But it's very, very variable. I'm sure that included people who work for the government, people who work part-time, people who do research. It's like you said, it's so variable. But coming out of vet school, depending on what part of the country you're in, I think you can expect a starting salary for a full-time small animal veterinarian to be anywhere between $100,000 and $150,000 a year. But there's plenty of room to increase that salary as you get more experience and as you move on.
And then, so what kind of like general advice or knowledge would you be able to provide to these high school students that are looking not only to go into your career, but who are wanting to go to college and then move on to their own careers, pursue their dreams, what kind of advice would you be able to give them?
Like we said before, I think in high school it's very important to go and either volunteer or see if you can work part-time at a local veterinary clinic or with a local vet that's doing what you want to do, just to see if this is something that you want to do. A lot of high school students have in their mind what they think this career is about, and when they actually go there and watch and see every day exactly what we do, I think they're surprised, and they're either pleasantly surprised and excited, and it reinforces what they always knew they wanted to do, or they look at it and realize that it's not what they thought it was going to be and it's not for them. So going and working for a local vet that's doing what you want to do is, I think it's crucial before you even start college. Then once you're in college, I think you should continue that working for someone or staying around the veterinary profession in some capacity. When I was in vet school, I worked at a small clinic part-time, and then I also worked at the vet school in the parasitology lab as well. But working in the field while you're in school, I think is the most important thing. To prepare before school, before applying to vet school, like I said, in high school, there's really not a whole lot more you can do other than working at a veterinary clinic and concentrating on your sciences.
All right, so is there anything, so about students here who already know that they want to go into the veterinary field, what can they do right now to like kick off that career?
Well, Mississippi State Veterinary School, which is the vet school in Mississippi, has an early entry program, and I would highly recommend that they look into that. You apply when you're either a junior or a senior, and if you qualify, you will be guaranteed entry into Mississippi State Vet School if you keep a certain GPA and meet certain requirements while you're a freshman and sophomore at Mississippi State. That's one way to get a good head start and know that you're guaranteed to get into vet school. It takes a lot of pressure off of you.
Oh, yeah.
I would highly recommend that.
That sounds like a really great opportunity. All those early things. Colleges
Yes.
here are super generous.
They are.
And so that wraps up my questions for you. Do you want to tell us about our special guest here?
Sure. This is our family pet, Andy Mack, and she was a little stray that one of my clients found, and we tried and tried to see if we could find her owners. She was just on the streets, and no one claimed her, and my client couldn't take care of her. She had some other dogs and asked if we knew anyone who would want a dog, and we were looking for one. We had one really old dog, and we wanted a younger dog, and we adopted her, and she's a wonderful little pup. Say hello. Hello, everyone.
She's precious.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it sounds to me like this is a very rewarding job.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
It's definitely a very
Very.
interesting choice. Well, that wraps up our career callings. Thank you so much for.
You're welcome.
for
It was good to
answering,
meet you.
and-
Thank you.
And it's a very cute dog.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Bye-bye.